consumer credit reporting agency Experian has just experienced a recent data breach that revealed the information of 24 million individuals and 800,000 businesses, exposing them to future phishing attempts. This highlights how important it is to take our online identities seriously, and the best way to do that is through the use of a VPN. I use Virtual Shield VPN, and I keep it on 24/7 while I'm browsing online. Due to the recent pandemic, they're offering 50% off VPN services. Go to hidewithbear.com or click the link in the video description box below. You've got nothing to lose. When I was little, one of my favourite movies was Harry and the Hendersons. That big lovable retarded monkey was f***ing great value and heaps of fun. But I recently saw a Netflix documentary that proves, beyond a reasonable doubt, that Bigfoot is real.
I think that this drumming that I'm doing will possibly entertain Bigfoot. But if not, I'm hoping that it makes Bigfoot curious, and that Bigfoot comes and listens to me.
Now, as rock solid a plan as drum soloing Bigfoot out of the bush might be, we're here for proof. And there's no greater proof for the existence of Bigfoot than video. Video of Bigfoot, and definitely not some c*** in a suit.
This is on October 20th, 1967. Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin were down there deliberately looking for evidence of the Bigfoot. And squatting beside the river here was this creature. And as it came up, it frightened the horses. Roger Patterson was thrown to the ground. And as he fell, he had the sense of mind to reach up and pull his camera out. And then he started filming and walking fast after this animal. As you can see, it bounces around a lot, and that's due to logs in the way in the front he climbed over. And he'll get to these different positions, and he'll stop, and it'll clear it. But then it goes back to jumping around again.
And there it's just walking away, and it then disappears up into the hills or into the...
Yes, she disappears into here. This trail curves right back to here and then cuts back. But they didn't go any farther that day. They just stayed there where she disappeared.
She? Bigfoot's a wow whammon?
Well, in frame 352, and that's our most famous film piece in this, she turns towards the camera, and as she does, her breasts swing over. Right in here. She'll get right over here now, 352.
I see, yeah.
And her breasts roll. They just more or less undulate. You see them roll over.
Pretty elaborate thing for a hoaxer to do, too.
I would think so, too, to go to that extra trouble to try to make that look real also, not just the walking or the hair-looking thing walking away, but to have those breasts come in, and they do. When you see them up close, do look real. So that would be quite a bit to go through just for that effect.
Well, that f***ing proves it. Bigfoot has tits. Bigfoot is real. Now, I get it. Some people have a higher standard when it comes to evidence than Sasquatch tits. And if you want to be difficult, fine. Let's get a legit scientist's opinion on this.
The attitude of most scientists is to relegate it to the tabloids. But that is done from a standpoint of total ignorance about the available knowledge, the available information, which they simply do not inform themselves about. To really convince the skeptics, it would probably take
Bunsen burners.
Even if you had a corpse, you'd have to drag it physically from meeting to meeting and rub people's noses in it before they believe it.
Not me, man. You had me at multiple randomly placed Bunsen burners and Sasquatch tits.
There's a guy called Ron Moorhead who, for several years, had a cabin way up in the remotest parts of the Sierras of Northern California. And he was there one time with a friend, and every evening they used to hear some absolutely bizarre noises and calls, and they couldn't figure out what the hell it was. And so they took up a tape recorder one time, and this is what they recorded.
So let's say we wanted to try our luck and see Bigfoot for ourselves. Where's our best bet? Where does Bigfoot like to hang out?
I found all the names of Bigfoot that I could find that were Native American names. I found over 100 names. And I plugged them into the U.S. government's Geographical Names Information System and found 2,300 places in America that had been named for these creatures. Then, assuming that this is also a place, these places were places they wanted to hang out, I found that on a map, these places followed the summit ridges and summit peaks of all the mountain ranges in America, particularly here in Oregon and in Washington.
Something caught my eye right in the middle of the road there. So I stopped right here, and I kicked the flashlight on, and I saw something turn and go like this. And I was looking at it for a minute going, because I couldn't see no eyes or nothing like that. Looked down a minute, looked back up, and went, that's Bigfoot. And he was like 6'6", real broad. And no, he does not walk all hunched over like the Hollywood Neanderthal. And I turned the flashlight off, he was gone. But the next morning, to show that I had acted with couth and etiquette, that piece of bark was left laying there.
And he left that?
They come back down that night. I heard him come down, but I just didn't open the door.
How come you don't take a picture of him, Howard?
Because if I take a picture of him and then, you know, someone goes, well, yeah, there's Bigfoot right here, I'm going to have every Bubba redneck in the woods up here with a gun to be the first one to kill a Bigfoot.
Howard,
And
why
no.
do you think he left that piece of bark there?
As a thank you.
So there we go. I think that conclusively proves that Bigfoot is definitely pretty much real and has great tits.
I wonder if next time if you can, rather than going straight away from me, you perhaps just keep on going round to that corner, and then you'll be much more obscured by this tree. Okay. And then find somewhere to hide and hide. And I'll come as far as this tree, and I won't see you, and that'll be my end point. Okay? Okay. We'll have a little 5-minute rest. Get your breath back.
Recession, session. Recession, session.